Tested, proved, finalized.
Approved to sound the clarion.
We trust imperfections more than perfection because they tell us something has been lived through, not just designed. This paradox allows manufacturers of authenticity to sell fakery as truth. Roland Barthes described this phenomenon in that has been where photographs are valued precisely for their analogical plenitude. They show the world exactly as it was, or so we believe. But with filters and AI, that realism is now a simulation. We see grainy textures on Instagram posts or handwritten fonts in ads and assume they're real because of what they claim to represent: memory, sincerity, history itself. The earliest signs of this trend appeared in social media, where users craved the look of film photography without carrying a camera. Grainy Instagram filters became a digital nostalgia trick. Similarly, chatbots were trained to mimic cursive writing to give automated messages a human touch. These choices aren't neutral. They speak directly to our desire for something that feels like it's been through.
Early computing was all about brute force and ingenuity, room-sized machines solving problems with vacuum tubes and punch cards.
Every new technology leaves a trail of imperfections, artifacts that begin as flaws but are soon repurposed into charm. When we first saw CRT screens flicker or dot, matrix printers stagger. These were signs of limitations in early computing systems. But over time, those same flaws became markers of authenticity, even nostalgia. Now they're recreated as design choices to mimic the real things. A paradox where imperfection is faked precisely to feel human. In the early days, tape hiss and film scratches weren't just byproducts. They were signs of a machine's struggle to capture human input. Over time, we learned not to clean them up. Instead, we embraced them as proof that something was touched by real hands. Today, these same flaws are artificially generated in digital environments, like adding grain or static to make an image feel authentic. It's not the content we value, it's the illusion of its origin. Consider media humanization plugins, tools designed to make synthetic music feel like it was played by real people. The idea is simple. Computers are too perfect, so we add imperfections algorithmically. A sequencer will introduce slight tempo deviations or dynamic fluctuations that mimic a live musician's natural rhythm. It's not just about sound anymore, it's about identity. We don't want machines to play. We want them to feel human enough to let us We used to think authenticity was in a handwritten, letter-smudged ink or the crack in a voice recordings. But now we train machines not just to replicate, but to simulate human imperfection at scale. Misspellings, stuttered phrases, even the hesitant pauses between thoughts. It's no longer about accuracy, it's about plausibility. AI learns to write emails with typos because that's how people communicate online. It mimics handwriting by studying the uneven flow of real strokes and errors. What was once a marker of human presence is now part of an algorithmic performance. Just this week, industry experts before Congress struggled to define what AI can truly do or not. One senator asked whether AI could be trusted with anything important. The answer, of course not. But the very fact that these tools exist is pushing us toward trusting them anyway. We're witnessing a cultural shift where simulated humanity becomes indistinguishable from real interaction, and we adapt to it even when we know better. This isn't just a technology arms race. It's an aesthetic one. The deeper problem isn't that these tools exist. It's how they're used to persuade. AI-generated speeches mimic not just content, but the human rhythm of thought pauses, filler words, and even emotional inflection. Bots now tweet with the awkward charm of middle schoolers, designed to feel real enough to be trusted. We don't question them because we've trained ourselves to expect all. Neil Postman once warned that technology doesn't just change tools. It changes what we think is important. Today are AIs. Policies are built using frameworks from the industrial age or mid-century bureaucracy. We pretend this makes them timeless, but in reality, they're outdated. The past isn't used as a guide. It's used to give us false comfort. The illusion we've sold ourselves is not that the future is bright. It's that the future has already been done. We trust AI, space travel, and smart cities because they look familiar. But if progress truly exists, why do we dress it up in costumes from a century ago? Are we really looking forward, or just rehearsing an old script?